Hi everyone, I'm just about to start making some macarons, and there's a few things that I actually do to prepare just before I start making them, which are actually quite routine to me, but I thought I would actually show everyone and which might help you in making macarons. So there's a few good tips before we start making macarons. So my first tip is templates. I work with a template underneath my macaron mat, or my silpat mat I should say. It is laminated. That's one massive tip I can give you, is laminate your templates. It will definitely save you a lot of time. They're easy enough to wipe down every time you use. That's tip number one. The second tip is actually on your macaron template, write how many shells there are on the corner. It will save you heaps of time counting them. So it's just because I have a few templates actually to go with all my trays, and some of them just are a little bit off, so one will have one or two more than the other. So to save me heaps of time, I actually write down how many is on that template, then obviously just add them all up afterwards. So that's tip number two. So tip number one, laminate your templates. Tip number two, write the number of actual macaron circles you have on that template in the corner of each of your templates. Next tip is I use silpat or silicone mats when I pipe my macarons, but what tends to happen is when you have a laminated template, which I have under here, so there's my mat, my template, and my silicone mat, they stick. So as you can see, that's exactly what happens. I can't slide my template out before I bake them. So that will of course ruin your macarons and your perfectly piped ones on there. So one of the best tips I can give you is easy as this. So this is just a chucks with corn flour, clean chucks of course, not used to wipe down the bench. So it's just got a rubber band there holding it together, and inside's a bit of corn flour. So what I do is I lightly dust that all over, then place my mat on top. I'll pipe my macarons on, and then it'll be as simple as sliding them out like that. And all my macarons stay on there perfectly. So that's tip number three. Dust your laminated templates with corn flour and it'll make it nice and easy to come out. The last tip I'm actually going to give you today is silpat mats are great even when you they're great for piping your macarons on. They keep them perfectly circled macarons, but what does tend to happen is they do build up and form grease on there. So what I do is, this is just some clear alcohol. You can use vodka. This is actually rose spirit. Before I start piping each time, I actually wipe down my silpat mats with some clear alcohol. You can use vinegar. I prefer just to use rose spirit because it does dry quickly. So all I've done is add some on there, just a little bit. I want a light covering, and I wipe it down just to get rid of any grease or build up of any dirt or anything that's just built up, and that will get it perfectly clean. Hi Jazz, yes, I did see your question, and I'm actually had a lot of requests for another macaron class, so stay tuned. I will be running one more this year at the end of August. I'm still working out a date, just because wedding season is coming in and the wedding cake orders are coming in quite frequently. So there will be one more beginners group class coming. So stay tuned for the date. I will let you know. So that's my top tips for piping macarons. So I'll just quickly go over it again. That is, laminate your templates. They'll be, that way you can use them over and over. Number the amount of circles you have on your template will save you counting them each single time, especially if you're piping this many. And I've got about 4 trays this size. It's actually a 900 size for my 900 oven. Corn flour your laminated template so that it can easily slide off your silpat mat, so it easily slides off and won't ruin your macarons. And wipe down your macaron templates with some clear alcohol. You can use vinegar, just make sure that it dries and make sure there's none pooled and left on there. So that's my top tips. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.